This is an expired lead call from about 7 months ago. So the expired lead is from 7 months ago. This call was just recent. Basically, my agent had called them, had talked to them at some point, and then been trying to follow up because the house has not been relisted yet, and not been able to get a hold of him. Finally gets a hold of him. So let's start this call.
Brock, how can I help you?
Hey, this is the Keystone team.
Hey.
Hey, I'm doing well. How are you?
Great. Are you selling my house? I'm not going to do that right now.
No. I would.
So, actually, let's start from the very beginning here. When he says, hey, this is his name with the Keystone team, immediately the person, the buyer, or the seller, realizes what? Realizes, oh, hey, what's up? How's it going? And then he realizes, oh, this is about selling my house. And so he immediately puts up an objection. So how could we start that a little smoother? It could be a script maybe like, hey, XYZ person, hey, Joe Schmo, this is Cyrus. How's everything going, man? Right? Very casual. Because then what's he going to do? Hey, everything's going well. Cyrus who? Oh, this is Cyrus Moseni with the Keystone team. I was calling because, and now I can get my point across, right? Now I'm not hitting that objection right away. So maybe I could get a little point across so that I could go from there, right? So anyways, I think my agent handles the objection really well here, so we'll go from there.
I'm going to do that right now.
No. I was talking to you a while back, I believe, about your son's house. And I was just calling to see if that place was still available or what's going on with that.
I got a quarter point yesterday, so I got 3 more to go. And I don't know, we got to wait it out, another 2 years?
So now what ends up happening? He says, I think my agent handles it very well. He goes, no. I was calling about your son's house that was thinking about selling. Wanted to see if that's still on the market, kind of figure out what's going on. So what does that do? That keeps the seller on the line a little longer. This is the name of the game. The longer you could keep that person on the line, the more likely you are to get that appointment, right? So he keeps them on the line a little longer when some people would have just said maybe, okay, sounds good, thanks, bye, and hung up, right? He said, no. Hey, I'm just calling about this property. Wanted to see what's going on with that, right? Now the guy talks about, hey, no, we got a quarter point. Yesterday, it looks like it's probably going to go up 3 more times, so it's probably going to be a year, right? So we have a timeline now, which is great, right? But let's see how we handle it from there.
You had a what yesterday?
Well, didn't you get a quarter point raise in your Fed rates?
Yeah, the Fed rates went up by 0.25.
You got 3 more of them coming.
Yeah.
So here he's trying to say, look how much I know, right? Now, I'll let this play out, but my response on if someone's going to talk about interest rates and interest rates rising, my response is probably going to be around, hey, look, just because the Fed raises the rate doesn't necessarily mean mortgage rates raise, right? A lot of the times mortgage rates are built in, they build in that. So if the rate raises a little bit from the Fed, the mortgage industry has already prepared for that. So that's kind of how that works. But I can understand where you would feel like the market might shift a little bit because of that.
Yeah.
My agent's trying to figure out what's the reason why he's saying this, right?
I've seen talks about that, yeah. So that's
until the rates start coming down, so the house prices can start going back up. I'm good to go, bro. I got a 2.8 right now. I'm not going to trade that in for a discount.
Yeah, but if you sold that house, wouldn't you just?
So here's what he's saying. He's saying, hey, I'm not going to sell my place right now to go get a higher interest rate. I'm not going to do that. and I'm not going to sell my place at a lower price just to go get a higher rate at a higher price or whatever, right? And so that's his objection now. So he hit one objection where the interest rate, hey, I'm not going to sell my house right now. Then we got it to the interest rate. And now we're getting, hey, he doesn't want to sell because now we understand just from listening to this that he wants to sell and then buy something else. So where I would go with it is I would sit there and probably ask, oh, so once you sell this, are you thinking about buying something else? He's going to say, yes. And you're going to say, oh, where were you thinking about buying? Right? He's going to say XYZ city. And then you're going to say, oh, okay, interesting. Why were you thinking about selling and buying there in the first place? Right? To get his why, to understand why he's moving, why he wants to do these moves, right? So let's see how my agent handles it.
Yeah, but if you sold that house, wouldn't you just pay cash for your next property?
I'm not going to get that much of a discount. Dude, trust me, California buyers, they're the most stubborn people ever. I've been through this game a whole bunch of times. Every time when rates go crazy or prices fall or this, that, or the other, all they do is take their homes off the market,
right,
and create a shortage. And then the next thing you know, they wait until the rebound, and it rebounds faster in California than anywhere else in the country. We're ahead of ourselves right here.
Right.
So give me a call back in a year.
All right.
So now he's basically saying, hey, look, California buyers, they're doing this, they're doing that, yada, yada, yada. My agent lets him speak, right? This is great. And then he says, call me back in a year, right? So what he's saying is he's still interested in selling. So where I would like to go with this next, well, let's listen to my agent's response first.
That's what's causing you not to want to sell your house right now?
Oh, dude, I'm never going to go $1.2 million for this place now. I'm not going to hit those peak highs that I got back in last April.
I mean, that market has definitely come around again.
So what he's saying now is he wants $1.2 million for his place. So now I know he wants $1.2 million. I don't know why yet because we didn't ask those questions, but I don't know why he wants to sell and where he wants to buy. I'd like to know that information, but I know that he wants to sell for $1.2 million. So a great response would be on this is, hey, what if I told you I could probably get you $1.2 million? If I brought you an offer for $1.2 million, would you sell today? Right? Let's see how my agent handled it.
Yeah, and the market's still good now. The market.
It will. Right now, I got a house. I'm renting the house out to tenants, and they're paying a mortgage. I got a nice everything low, and all I have to do is just navigate.
Yeah. If somebody offered you $1 million for the house in cash, would you take it?
So this is where I think it went south. Like, I think if you're asking me, I know your motivation is to get $1.2 million, right? My agent goes and says, well, if someone told you that, if someone offered you $1 million, would you take it? Well, he just said he doesn't want anything less than 1.2. So we're basically sitting there and saying, hey, I didn't listen to what you just said. Would you take $1 million for it? Right? What we're looking at with this expired is to get the listing, to be able to educate the seller, to be able to show him what we can do and bring the best offers possible to him. Right? Our job is not to negotiate with the seller over the phone. If we're going to start negotiating and with the seller over the phone, it's not going to work. What we want to do is set an appointment so that we can educate them, so that we could show them how we're going to do it, create the value, and then we can do the close. Then we can say, hey, look, hey, right now, this is the reality. This is how much you're going to get for your house, so on and so forth. But until you have that meeting, you don't want to go there yet. You don't want to start negotiating price. You don't want to start negotiating commission. Right? So let's see what his response is.
No.
All right. What was the address for that house again?
So he says no. My agent responds no. And then he goes, no. Right? What my agent did do really well here is he went and he asked for that address. So the seller responds with the address to confirm it.
The best school system you're ever going to find.
And then my agent is quiet. He just says, it's the best school system that you're ever going to find. It's right next to this high school. It's the best school system you're ever going to find. What's a great response for that? A great response would be, oh my gosh, I know that school district's amazing. They crush it. Is that why you ended up buying there in the first place? Right? Or that's a great selling point, and you're always going to be able to find people that are going to be willing to pay what you want for it because of that school district. What if I told you that I can find someone that's going to give you $1.2 million because I know a lot of people that want to move into that school district, and I know how to find them as well? Right? But my agent stays silent, and you'll see what happens.
Anyway, I got to go.
All right, you have a great day, and I'll follow up with you in the future.
He loses that lead right there. He loses it. He says, I'll follow up with you in the future, and the guy hangs up. Right? The way we could have kept that is, like I said, keep that conversation going. The name of the game is to keep that person on the phone as long as possible. That's your likelihood of getting the appointment drastically increases the longer that person's on the phone. Statistically, the more someone talks in a conversation, if you're talking to one person and I'm on the phone with somebody and they talk more, statistically, the more they feel like they liked that conversation. So if we let them talk and we ask questions that so we can understand their situation and we can understand, hey, why they're wanting to sell. The school district's a great district. Let's talk about the school district a little bit. Let's talk about why he bought it in the first place. Let's talk about how we can show him value. Hey, look, do you want to set up a time to meet so that I can show you what we can do to get that $1.2 million, even in this market, right? Then if he throws an objection about, the interest rates and me buying, then I can provide, hey, look, there's a couple ideas that I have that you could probably actually get a better rate, and I can show you that when we sit down and meet. How does Saturday or Sunday work for you? Which one works better for you? Oh, well, Sunday. Okay. Hey, Sunday in the morning or the afternoon work better? The afternoon. Okay. Afternoon around 1, or do you want to do like later around like 3 or 4? Right? And now we can set that appointment, meet that person on whatever day we set it up with, and now we can actually have a face-to-face thing where we can create that rapport, right? Remember, it's create rapport, create value, close. Those are the 3 steps to get any deal closed. Create value, or create rapport, create value, and close. Create rapport, create value, and close. Go kill it. There is a link in the description in order to sign up for Redx. It will give you $150 off signing up for Redx. What is Redx? Redx is the single most useful tool in my business. It has created thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars in commissions for me. It has created so many relationships that have led to transactions. This is the tool that every single real estate agent needs. I use it to call expireds. I use it to call pre-foreclosures. I use it to call for rent by owners, for sale by owners. I even use it to geofarm neighborhoods. When I'm sitting in an open house and the open house is dead, I geofarm the neighborhood and invite the neighbors over. This business is about creating relationships. This business is about connecting with more people. And Redx is the tool that's going to connect you with the most amount of people the fastest way. So again, the link is inside the description in order to sign up and get $150 off signing up. Go download it. Thank you for listening to Cyrus's podcast.